So you think that communism is being taught?
Yes.
Communism is not. Communism is being taught. The idea that everybody should be equal and everybody should earn equal and everything should be owned by the state, and you should not promote free market and enterprise and capitalism. I,
Well, critical race theory is a subcomponent of Marxism. It openly alludes to the fact that it is influenced by it.
I,
What
I, I
I've
I know who
well,
wrote
it
it.
is. Yeah.
I know who
Yeah.
wrote it. I know who
Yeah.
the people who wrote it. I agree with that. But to take that and to say that communism is being taught in school, I don't even understand how you think that, how you would
It's a
see that.
component. It's a component of communism. It's self-professed by the people that actually push it in the academic sense. What I look at
I
is
understand the academic sense. I
Mhm.
understand that you're saying who I know who wrote it. I know who these people were influenced by. They say that they're influenced by that.
Well, are public schools not an academic construct?
Are public schools not an academic construct? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you're trying to parse aside the academic context of the self-professed Marxist influence from critical race theory being taught more broadly. Are public schools in which any element of that being taught not academic complexes? I would hope so. I guess these days, maybe not so much. They're basically daycares these days, but
I understand that what you're trying to allude to. I understand the root of this theory. I don't see it expressed in a school. I don't see how communism is being taught in school. Nobody wants communism. There are no communist political leaders right now in our country. Nobody
yes,
wants
there are.
communism. No, they're not. Who's a
sadly,
communist?
sadly, yes, there are.
No,
Look at the
there.
breadliners. Look at Caleb Maupin and people like that.
I don't think communism is being taught in school at all. I think that you want to use the idea that because it was created, or the theory, the lawful theory was created by communists, that therefore it is communism. It's not
But
communism.
why would they not promote their own theoretical backdrop? That's like saying that if a bunch of Mises capitalists, like a really hard on libertarian capitalists, develop an educational plan, would you be able to parse that apart from their socioeconomic views?
I
Like
would have.
why would they push a view system that didn't coincide with their particular mentality?
Okay, I, I get the concept of theory. I'm talking about reality. Go into
So
a
am I.
schoolroom. I'm going to go into a schoolroom and show me what lessons are teaching communism.
I would say that critical race theory is an element thereof. It's just a part of that. It's basically critical race theory is basically if you take communism, but you get rid of the class warfare thing because clearly that didn't work, it fell flat, and you take that out and you put in race struggle instead. And you make it all about race instead of class. What the communists wisely realized is that class struggle didn't work as long as there was reasonable wealth for the middle class, because there were never enough people to rise up and overthrow the bourgeoisie and install the hammer and sickle. What they've realized now is that it makes much more sense to install race as opposed to class, because there's much more of a mixing of race in certain Western nations.
Okay,
And so they're hoping to get those people to be at each other's throats, even though all of their students, regardless of their gender, their creed, their race, are being ill-served by the public education system by critical race theory appearing anywhere in the curriculum.
okay. So the theory that it's communism is when you're creating groups of people who are different by now their race, where before they were different by being workers or the bourgeoisie.
No,
That's
that's
what
not
you're
what I'm
saying.
saying. No, what I'm saying is that the same exact principles of the class struggle in communism have simply been changed out for a race struggle. Class struggle does naturally exist. So does racial struggle. There are inequalities between groups of people, and there's fighting, and there's oppression, slavery, etc. But the exact same premise of communism, a la the Soviet Union, has simply been recycled in exchange for race theory, as opposed to class theory. It is effectively nothing more than taking Karl Marx and saying, no, it doesn't matter actually if you're richer or poorer, since most of the leaders of critical race theory are multimillionaires. You see them buying third homes all the time. They've decided that they don't have a problem with capitalism. What they really have a problem with is the fact that they don't have a big enough slice of the pie, and they're hoping to take gullible people who happen to have a darker complexion than them and grift off of them. It's the same as Al Sharptonism. It's the same as David Duke. It's the same as all these morons. That's basically what critical race theory is. It's idpol.
So the idea of critical race theory, what I understood it, or what I call tolerance, or you call, or it's called equity and inclusion, right? That's what you also call CRT, right? Equity and inclusion.
No, I wouldn't say inclusion or equity is part of CRT.
No,
not based on the initial academic premises. No, it has nothing to do with those things.
Okay.
It uses equity as a facade, but it never actually explains how it will achieve it, other than using the same system that it self-proclaims has been taken over by white supremacists. How do you take a government that's run by a bunch of right-wing white Nazis and weaponize that to create equality for anyone else in the culture?
Just to be clear, though, when we're talking about equity as opposed to equality, we mean equity being outcome as opposed to giving people the chance. So it's equality of outcome,
which is communism. Yeah.
Yes, equality of outcome is actually stupid. So you call it communism. I think it's what the
stupidity and communism are synonymous. Yeah.
Okay, we can go with that. I can agree with that. So nobody wants equality of outcome. It doesn't even work. Humans don't function like that. Humans need competition. That's how they are in their DNA.